We are live.
Raven, the GS, Joe, 1/3 of the Cybernet. Sam, the legend behind the check-in.
We are live. Guys, I'm Joe, 1/3 of the Cybernerds.
And I'm Raven, the GS.
I'm Sam, Mr. Bits Tech.
And this is the Fantastic Beasts, the Crimes of Grindelwald movie review. Alright, so this is a drama, fantasy, sci-fi fantasy drama. It's just new genres every day.
But was it really dramatic
apparently.
though? Was there drama?
I don't know. We'll see in the review. This movie is directed by David Yates, starring Eddie Redmayne, Catherine Waterston, Dan Fogler, Alison Skudole, Ezra Miller, Callum Turner, Claudia Kim, Jude Law, Johnny Depp.
Zoe Kravitz. Is that Kravitz's sister?
No, daughter.
Daughter? Lenny Kravitz's daughter? Marty.
This movie was released on the 16th of November 2018 in the US and the United Kingdom as well. Alright, so in the effort to thwart Grindelwald's plan of raising pureblood wizards to rule over all let me run that thing back. Let me just run that thing back.
Sounding like Sam right now.
In an effort to thwart Grindelwald's plans of raising pureblood wizards to rule over the non-magical beings, Albus Dumbledore enlists his former student, Newt Scamander, who agrees to help, unaware of the dangers that lie ahead. Lines are drawn as loves and loyalty are tested, even among the truest of friends and family, in an increasingly divided wizarding world. Ooh. So, Geek Saint say it. What do you think of the story?
Story. I feel the story is interesting. I feel like we're back to Harry Potter #1, where you don't have much, but at the same time they pepper up with the previous Harry Potter world, which I'm really glad, because the first was kind of a bit disappointing. So this story was a bit more opened to the to the Harry Potter world. I'm going to keep saying Harry Potter because that's the reference we're gonna go by. And I'm actually happy that we got more elements of it. Story. I'm also torn between good and bad, because there was some really good stuff. At times, the story didn't interest me. I find myself yawning, but I guess it was decent. But I think what happens is, with us getting more in the future, when we come back to this, it won't be as bad.
What do you think, Mr. Blitztech?
I'm going to say in lines as Raven. Like, for me, the story seems like it's just there to carry on eventually. I can hear you. It's eventually like, to carry on more of the Harry Potter lore, but this standing on movie seems a bit convoluted to me, and I was just a bit meh about it. It didn't really excite me too much, to be honest. But
well, I guess I disagree with this story, because I thought the story was pretty good. Obviously, you've got, I think in this movie, they build off lots of things that we already know from Fantastic Beasts 1s and from events that we know happen 60 or 100 years in the future in Harry Potter 1 and 2. But I actually think the story of this, the story that Ezra Miller's character, Credence, being the last of a breed of people, and that he's trying to find out who he is and the implications that has on the whole wizarding world, as well as we get to look at the Ministry of Magic in different countries, how that works. Also, we get to see the crud that Dumbledore's on in this as a younger Dumbledore, where I feel like he's more open. Not even he's more open. I guess he hasn't just got to the Dumbledore where he can do crud and no one's gonna question him. Like, this is still the part where he's doing nonsense. Everyone knows it because they've seen him grow up doing it. Do you know what I'm saying? And they're still against it. So and I also like to see that. I like the story elements of Dumbledore having that early beef with the Ministry of Magic. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, later on in Harry Potter, like, they're just like, they've had enough of him. And they're like, yo, we got to get rid of you. But here's like, all right, we're putting you on, we're putting you on probation and stuff like that. So I really love what this story does for like the whole wizarding world world universe.
No,
do you get
no,
what I'm saying?
you are right with that, but this is what I'm saying. Like, it just to me, it just felt that it was. I don't know. There wasn't that magic at certain points, but I do agree with what you're saying with the Ministry of Magic. I like how they already had that conflict as well, and how it's torn between not just between Dumbledore, but people from the outside as well. So I like that conflict a lot. I just think that it's just there was some match, but again, I also feel that going forward, when we look back at this movie, a lot of things are gonna make more sense. And I love how they peppered up some of the characters in there as well for the story that we got in Harry Potter. I think that was super dope.
I mean, I also disagree with you when you said your comparison to this to Harry Potter 1. I feel like I disliked Fantastic Beasts #1 because that was so much like Harry Potter 1, 2 and 3 almost. And I thought this one was more 5 and 6. The tone of this movie is a lot darker than the tone of the first one and more in line with Prisoner of Azkaban. It's not all the way Prisoner of Azkaban, but it's definitely more that way than Philosopher's Stone.
I thought it was a lot more watered down in terms of darkness, but hey, well, all right.
What do you think of the acting, Mr. Blitztake?
Acting wise, Johnny Depp, like, I like him a lot in this movie, innit? Very, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't find the word right now, but no, I liked him. Like in his previous movies, obviously he's just kind of just been wayward, just doing roles and not really caring about too much. But in this role, I thought like Johnny Depp could be back. He's there. He's almost there. I like him.
What do you think about it, Big Sensei?
One thing I must say is that I'm really happy that I got to enjoy Johnny Depp again, because it's been a hot minute where I've enjoyed any of his roles in it. So I'm really happy for that. One thing, obviously, I love Newt. I love his character. But one thing that drew me more into this movie that we didn't kind of get from the previous movies, and although it's not a human character, but there are characters in his movies, are the animals. I absolutely loved it. I love Newt's pet in this movie. Like, it's just the sign about him, and the new legendary animals that came through. Pig. Also loved. I can't remember the horse's name that they used. That's also from the Harry Potter. I love that this actually in it. So to me, I don't have a problem with any of the cast per se, but I really loved the animals that they actually introduced in this movie.
For me, I think Johnny Depp's decent in it. Like, I don't think it's great. I think my issue with Johnny Depp is we're used to seeing him do such clownish stuff that when he does something that's like normal and almost like watered down from Jack Sparrow, you're like, oh, that's great, Johnny. It's not great.
I don't think it was great.
It's just better. It's just better than what you've normally done.
That's what I like about it. Like, but it's funny. Like, he's not one that clown in it, and we know he's not a clown either.
But that's what I'm saying. I said it's just a different character in it.
I'm glad about it.
I'm not saying that he does a bad job. I'm just saying I feel like I remember Johnny Depp doing bad boy movies trying to get Oscars. This ain't one of that. Like, so I'm not gonna say Johnny Depp's back when I feel like he just done a decent job with this character. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't like Eddie Redmayne's character, his portrayal of Newt. I didn't like it in the first one. I don't like it in this. I don't like the character. Period. Like, I just don't like it. Like, it's just, I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, but like, I feel like he does too much. We get he's squirmy and all weird and stuff, but I feel like he just overdoes it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't like it. Like, I live for the parts of this movie where he's not on screen, where we're following the other character, Jacob. Do you know what I'm saying? Jacob, who's in love with the mind reader, Queenie. Like, I love those parts. I even loved when the other lady, what's her name? The one that Newt fancies.
Layla?
Isn't it Catherine?
Yeah, Catherine Waterstone's character. I liked her character. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not feeling Newt. Do you know what I'm saying? And I'm not feeling what you're feeling. Fake baby Groot that he carries around in his pocket. Like, I'm not feeling that either.
Wow.
I thought Jude. I thought, but that's what it is to me. Like, obviously, I saw it in the first one, and I was like, all right, cool. We're gonna see where it goes. But even in this, the beginning scene where he picks the button off the thing, it rolls, and then it jumps down and it chases after it. That feels like it was stolen straight out of Guardians of the Galaxy 2. The opening scene.
When I was talking about, I wasn't even thinking about him.
I'm just.
But alright, cool. I get what you're saying now.
I'm just saying.
So I was like, oh, baby.
I'm not really feeling anything to do with any Redmayne's character. I'm really not feeling in it. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's just that. But it's cool. Let's go to production. I want to start with production. Full production was pretty solid. It's a Harry Potter movie. It's a big budget WB movie. It's hard to find faults in these kind of production. Music was there. I do have one issue though with the visuals. I feel like from the start of the movie they try and do this first person thing here and there, and I don't get why. And I was never feeling it. I never thought it was good. And for lots of times when they cut to it, I was struggling with it because I was like, why are we doing this? Like what? Like there's no special perspective where we're actually seeing. So why are you just cutting to first person here? I didn't really feel that at all. So that's my only real gripe with production. What do you think, Luke, into it?
Yeah, jumping back of that again, Harry Potter. One thing I do feel that there was some struggles with the visuals. Very Harry Potter, but it wasn't delivered the same quality. Like like right at the beginning, lots of flashes. Fam, are you trying to blind me? One. I really hate when they do that in the movies. Also, the raining parts, not as clear as we usually see, especially when we know what they're capable of. So I feel that I'm not sure why it was delivered like that, but it wasn't as great. It was decent, but it wasn't as great, and that's something that we can expect from this type of world. Nevertheless, just being in this movie just reminds me how much I miss Harry Potter. And because of it, I think I'm going to go on a Harry Potter marathon because it's just that world that we can't get anywhere else in it. So that's pretty much it.
Production.
Yeah, I've got to agree with you guys. Kind of like, the production is there. Like, everything's on point, but some things do seem over the top a bit. Just dumb it down a little bit. Just,
what do you mean over the top?
I don't know, like, I do like the magic and world and what they bring to it, but sometimes it would seem realistic. And then sometimes it just seems...
Oh, it's magic, fam.
I know it's magic. But then they do it well in one part, and then in some parts it's just like... I don't know.
Alright.
Shout out to you.
Cool. We're going to go to final thoughts. What are your final thoughts?
Final thoughts in this movie is that, yes, it still brings us that magic from the Harry Potter movies. Still getting it there. I'd like to see more, actually. Like, I hope this ain't going to be the final one, but it's just a stepping stone, if anything. It's not, as a standalone movie, it's just alright, isn't it? It's alright.
Alright, cool. For me, my final thoughts are that I think the Fantastic Beasts, Crimes of Grindelwald is way better than number one. It is a step in the right direction that we needed, because if this was like number one, I'd probably be jumping off the train right now. But I think it's definitely good. It's fun, it's enjoyable. I think it's got a good story, and it's got characters you know and love, and it's got even some new characters that you're going to start to love. And it's got characters that you might hate before, that I've hated before, but might like now. So it's a whole thing, isn't it? What do you think?
That's a good one. Definitely, I mean, if you're a Harry Potter fan, you should definitely go watch this movie. I do look forward to go watch the first one, then jump straight back on this one and the next one, simply just to put pieces together. I have a few questions that I'm going to do a bit of research and watch some Harry Potter movies. But nevertheless, yeah, man, it was a decent movie to watch. So definitely looking forward to the next installments. The
official TCN rating for Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald is a 3.5. This movie is almost lit. Almost lit. There was lit. It's almost. It's almost. Guys, more important than what we think is what you think. Jump in the comment section below and let us know. Did this satisfy your Wizarding World craving? Do you think this is better than Harry Potter? Do you not think it's better than Harry Potter? Who's your favourite character? Do you like Newt? Do you not like Newt? What do you think about Johnny Depp's character not being Jack Sparrow? I'm Joe, 1/3 of the Cybernuts.
And I'm Reverend GS.
And I'm Sam, Mr. Blitztech.
And we'll see you on the next movie review. Peace. Hey guys, it's me, Joe, 1/3 of the Cybernerds. Appreciate you watching the last video. Check another one out here, or just go ahead and sign up to Patreon right now. Just do that thing. Anyway, catch you on the next video. Peace.